Zaheer is one of the most dangerous threats in the Avatar world. So we're here to break down Zaheer's skill tree to find out what makes him so formidable. We've split it up into two major trees, non-bending skills and bending skills. You might be surprised at just how much they complement each other.
You're a very smart young woman, Korra. But you must realize that once change begins, it cannot be stopped, even by the Avatar.
His first and maybe one of his most defining non-bending skills is his extensive knowledge and understanding of airbenders, their culture, and techniques.
Have you ever read the poetry of the great airbending guru Lahima?
What?
Guru Lahima lived 4,000 years ago in the Northern Air Temple. It is said that he unlocked the secret of weightlessness and became untethered from the earth, living his final 40 years without ever touching the ground.
You seem to know a lot about airbender history for someone who just got airbending.
I've always admired the culture.
And it's that knowledge that ties directly into his first airbending skill, airstreaming.
Lahima once wrote, "Instinct is a lie, told by a fearful body, hoping to be wrong."
What's that supposed to mean?
It means that when you base your expectations only on what you see, you blind yourself to the possibilities of a new reality.
A classic airbending technique that Zaheer was able to perform with no training whatsoever, thanks to his previous understanding of the craft.
Do you know who once said, "New growth cannot exist without first the destruction of the old"?
No.
The wise guru Lahima, an airbender.
He was also proven to be a master in hand-to-hand combat and martial arts. So when he incorporated his newfound airbending to his previous martial arts skill, he was able to unlock his next skill, enhanced agility. Next on the non-bending tree is spiritual connection. A skill that's most often seen from benders, but Zaheer's great mindfulness and meditation placed him firmly among the few who could interact with and even enter the spirit world.
Zaheer!
This connection to the spirits laid the base for Zaheer to develop some powerful abilities we'll talk about later. But let's move back to the bending tree to examine a skill that would normally be associated with waterbending. Zaheer was able to create a massive icy blizzard. While yes, he needs to be surrounded by snow in order to accomplish it, the sheer airbending force required to kick up a storm of this magnitude is no simple feat, especially for someone who is technically an airbending rookie.
That's not a snowstorm. That's him.
Up next is Zaheer's proficiency in the art of speechcraft.
The student is only as good as his master.
That's right, his silver tongue was one of his most valuable attributes, helping him to gather support, strike deals.
I can assure you of that.
I find these terms agreeable.
And even infiltrate enemy territory.
Excuse me, hello? My name is Yoru. I heard this was the place to come if you're a new airbender.
You got that right, stranger.
By now, it's obvious that Zaheer is a fast learner, able to pick up skills that take others years of training with ease.
Now that man's a leaf.
And his ability to fly a glider is no exception. While the air nomads of old would traditionally spend their entire childhood training with the gliders, Zaheer illustrated great ability to use his glider both as a weapon and as a transport with ease and grace.
No!
With no practice at all.
I'm afraid I have other plans.
Back to the non-bending tree. As the head of the Red Lotus and the mastermind behind a potentially world-changing plot, Zaheer wouldn't get very far if he didn't have incredible leadership skills. Luckily, Zaheer was very well versed in leading a team. Not only could he conceive, delegate, and enact a plan with near-perfect execution,
The Red Lotus should have you by now. See you in the physical world.
Zaheer! Zaheer! You tricked me!
but his followers clearly had immense trust and respect for his leadership, to the point where just knowing he was on their side gave them immeasurable hope.
He's out, isn't he? I'm feeling warmer already.
Perhaps his darkest bending skill was one that, as far as we know, was invented by Zaheer himself. That's his terrifying ability to use airbending to asphyxiate his opponent. A horrible attack that proved its power both physically and politically when Zaheer first used it to assassinate one of the most powerful world leaders in existence, the Earth Queen.
You think freedom is something that you can give or take on a whim. But to your people, freedom is just as essential as air. And without it, there is no life. There is only darkness.
His final, non-bending skill may seem like a minor one, but in truth, it's possibly his most useful and formidable ability. That ability is his extreme resolve.
You're too late! The poison's been in her system too long. The Red Lotus has won.
For better or worse, Zaheer clearly has a very specific personal philosophy that he lives by.
Maybe I forgot to mention something to you. I don't believe in queens.
And his sheer unstoppable determination drives him to spread and even impose his beliefs on the whole world.
But when I awoke with airbending, I knew I would be the one to destroy the old world and plant seeds for a new world to flourish.
It's the dawning of a new age. The end of the White Lotus. And soon, the end of the Avatar.
And it was that relentless resolve that pushed Zaheer to accomplish his final and maybe most impressive airbending skill. A skill that only one airbender had ever accomplished before outside of the Avatar state.
The wise guru Lahima.
That's right, it's the ability of true flight.
Let go your earthly tether.
Release the Avatar!
Enter the void.
This is your last warning!
Empty and become wind.
No! Stop! Did he just fly?
And that is how one of the newest and least experienced airbenders in existence was able to accomplish one of the most difficult abilities of the entire bending style, and added the final skill to his skill tree.
I found true freedom. I am no longer bound to this earth by worldly desires. I have entered the void.